If you still miss him after the breakup, it doesn't mean you are weak, broken, or incapable of moving on. It means you are human. Missing someone is not a sign that you should go back to them, and it is not proof that the breakup was a mistake. It is simply proof that you were emotionally attached, that you invested time, love, dreams, and parts of yourself into someone who once mattered deeply to you. When a relationship ends, your heart does not suddenly receive the memo that it's over. The mind may understand, but the heart needs time to catch up. After a breakup, especially when you truly cared, your brain goes through a kind of withdrawal. Love isn't just an emotion, it's a chemical process. Your body became used to dopamine, oxytocin, comfort, routine, and familiarity that came from being with him. When he's gone, your system feels the absence like hunger. That's why you randomly think of him, miss his voice, replay memories, or feel an ache in your chest for no clear reason. It's not because he was perfect. It's because your brain is adjusting to a loss. A lot of girls confuse missing someone with needing them. These are not the same thing. You can miss someone and still know they were not right for you. You can miss the version of him that existed in your hopes, even if the real version disappointed you. Often, what you miss is not him, but the feeling of being chosen, loved, or emotionally safe. Sometimes you miss the future you imagined more than the person himself. Social media makes this harder. You see quotes about soulmates, couples, or true love never ends, and you start doubting your decision or your strength. You might stalk his profile, analyze his posts, or wonder if he misses you too. But healing does not live in answers about him. Healing lives in understanding yourself. Every time you go back to check on him, you reopen a wound that was trying to close. Missing him can also come from silence. When someone is suddenly gone, the empty space they leave feels loud. You were used to talking to him, sharing your day, sending good morning or good night messages. Now that space feels unbearable. Your mind tries to fill it by thinking about him, even if thinking hurts. But silence is not your enemy. Silence is where you rebuild. There will be moments when you remember only the good times. Your brain will conveniently forget the arguments, the neglect, the tears, the anxiety, the times you felt unsure or unimportant. This is called emotional selective memory. When we are hurting, we romanticize the past because it feels safer than facing the present pain. That doesn't mean the relationship was healthy. It means your heart is protecting itself from pain by escaping into familiar memories. Another reason you still miss him is because breakups damage self-worth. When someone leaves, it can quietly create questions like, was I not enough, or what did I lack? Missing him can sometimes be your ego wanting validation, not your heart wanting love. You want reassurance that you mattered. And you did matter. The end of a relationship does not erase your value or the love you gave. Healing does not mean forgetting him. Healing means remembering without pain. It means reaching a point where his name doesn't control your mood and his absence doesn't define your days. Right now, you may feel like this pain will last forever, but feelings are not permanent states. They are waves. If you stop fighting them and let them pass, they lose their power over time. One of the hardest truths is that closure does not always come from the other person. You may never get the apology, explanation, or clarity you want. Waiting for him to give you peace keeps you emotionally tied to him. Closure is something you give yourself when you decide that your healing is more important than answers that may never come. Missing him does not mean you should text him. It does not mean you should go back. Feelings are information, not instructions. You can acknowledge the feeling without acting on it. You can say, I miss him, and I am still choosing myself. That is strength. Use this time to reconnect with parts of yourself that were neglected. Relationships sometimes slowly make us shrink without realizing it. You adapt, compromise, wait, and adjust. After a breakup, it's time to expand again. Rediscover what you enjoy, what excites you, what makes you feel alive. Build routines that belong only to you. When your life becomes fuller, the space he left feels smaller. Talk to people who genuinely care about you. You don't need to be strong all the time. Let yourself be supported. Healing is not a solo journey, but also be careful who you share your heart with. Choose people who listen without judgment and don't rush your process. There will be days when you feel fine and days when you feel like you're back at the beginning. That does not mean you are failing. Healing is not linear. Progress is often invisible until one day you realize you didn't think of him all morning, or you smiled without forcing it, or his memory didn't hurt as much as it used to. One day, missing him will turn into gratitude for the lesson. You will see how the breakup shaped you, strengthened you, and protected you from something that was not meant to last. You will love again, but differently, with more awareness, with stronger boundaries, with a deeper understanding of your worth. If you still miss him after the breakup, be gentle with yourself. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are healing. And healing, even when it hurts, is proof that you are moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. And as you continue healing, you will slowly start to notice small changes inside you. The pain won't disappear suddenly, but it will become quieter. The thoughts of him will stop feeling urgent. You won't feel the same rush to check your phone or replay old conversations in your head. Instead of feeling desperate for relief, you will begin to feel curious about yourself again. That curiosity is a sign of growth. You may start realizing that missing him doesn't mean you want him back the way things were. Deep down, you might know that going back would only bring the same pain, the same unmet needs, the same emotional exhaustion. What you truly want is comfort, familiarity, and emotional safety. And those things do not have to come from him. They can come from within you and from healthier connections in your life. At some point, you'll recognize that the relationship taught you something important. Maybe it taught you what you don't want. Maybe it taught you how much love you're capable of giving. Maybe it taught you to speak up, to set boundaries, or to never abandon yourself for someone else again. Even painful relationships leave behind wisdom, and that wisdom will protect you in the future. You might also realize that you were stronger than you thought. You survived days you didn't think you would. You got out of bed when your heart felt heavy. You smiled for others even when you were breaking inside. That strength didn't come from him. It came from you. It was always there, even when you forgot. Eventually, you will stop measuring your healing by how often you think about him. Healing isn't about erasing memories. It's about changing your relationship with them. The memories will still exist, but they won't control you. They'll feel distant, like chapters from a book you once read, not a story you're still living. You'll also begin to see yourself differently. You'll stop blaming yourself for things that were never fully in your control. You'll understand that love alone is not enough to make a relationship work. Effort, respect, emotional availability, and timing matter just as much. And someone who couldn't meet you at that level was not a reflection of your worth. One day, someone new will enter your life, or even if they don't right away, you will feel whole without needing anyone to complete you. And when love comes again, it won't feel like anxiety or confusion. It will feel calm, safe, and mutual. You'll remember this pain and be grateful you didn't settle for less just to avoid loneliness. Until then, allow yourself grace. Allow yourself time. Missing him is not a setback. It's part of letting go. Every day you choose not to reach out, not to go back, not to abandon yourself. You are choosing healing. Even on days when it hurts, you are still moving forward. So if you still miss him after the breakup, don't judge yourself for it. Sit with the feeling, understand it, and then gently remind yourself why you're walking this path. You're not healing to forget him. You're healing to remember yourself. And that journey, no matter how painful it feels right now, is leading you somewhere better. And as time goes on, you'll start to trust yourself again. Right now, your emotions might feel confusing, like you don't know what you want or what's best for you. That's normal after a breakup. When someone leaves, it can shake your inner sense of direction. But slowly, through patience and self-honesty, you will reconnect with your intuition. You'll begin to hear your own voice more clearly instead of the echoes of his opinions, expectations, or absence. There may be moments when loneliness hits unexpectedly. Late nights, quiet mornings, certain songs, certain places. In those moments, remind yourself that loneliness is not a sign you made the wrong choice. It's simply the space left behind by something familiar. New things will eventually fill that space, but they can only enter if you don't run back to the past out of fear. You might also notice that missing him comes in waves. Some days you feel strong and peaceful, and other days you feel emotional for no obvious reason. Healing doesn't move in a straight line. It loops, pauses, and sometimes feels like it's going backward. But even on the hard days, you are still further along than you were at the beginning. The fact that you're still standing, still choosing yourself, is proof of that. At some point, you'll stop hoping he realizes your worth. You won't need his regret or his apology to feel validated. You'll understand that people don't always lose you because you weren't enough. Sometimes they lose you because they weren't ready, capable, or willing to love you the way you deserved. That realization brings peace, not bitterness. You'll begin to replace self-blame with self-compassion. Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" you'll start asking, "What do I need right now?" That shift is powerful. It turns healing into an act of self-respect rather than punishment. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You just need to be yourself, fully and honestly. One day, you'll notice that your life doesn't revolve around the memory of him anymore. Your laughter will feel real again. Your goals will excite you. Your days will have meaning beyond surviving them. And when you think of him, it will feel neutral, not heavy, not painful, just distant. Missing him will eventually transform into acceptance. Acceptance that the relationship had a purpose, and that purpose is being fulfilled. Acceptance that not everything that ends is a failure. Some things end because they've taught us what they were meant to teach. If you still miss him after the breakup, remember this. The pain you feel now is not a punishment. It's a transition. You are shedding an old version of yourself and growing into someone wiser, stronger, and more self-aware. This chapter is uncomfortable, but it is not meaningless. Keep going. Keep choosing yourself, even when it's hard. One day, without realizing it, you'll wake up and the ache will be gone, and in its place will be peace.